Welcome back to MJL 3764, collecting Elvis on vinyl. Today is the Elvis On Tour box set update, part 2. In part 1 we looked at the 4 concerts, all very good, great concerts, all in very good quality. Disc 5 and 6 are the rehearsals. There's 49 tracks spanning 2 CDs on here. Disc 5 is 1 hour 14 minutes and disc 6 is 1 hour 13 minutes. So all in all there's 31 tracks that have been previously issued before, so we've got 18 new versions on this box set. Of the 31 tracks previously released, they were featured on this one. 5 tracks was on this one, Amazing Grace. 7 tracks was on this FTD, 6363 Sunset. And 19 tracks was on Elvis On Tour, the rehearsals. However, looking through the booklet, I seem to have found another blooper. So, looking through the booklet, there is 19 tracks listed from the rehearsals. There's 5 tracks listed from Amazing Grace, but there's only 6 tracks listed from 6363 Sunset, whereas there should be 7. So I had to trawl through this all to find it, and I think I found it here. It's this one, A Big Hunk of Love. As you see there, 2 versions of A Big Hunk of Love, track 6 and track 7. Both listed as the rehearsals. But if you look at the rehearsal CD, track 4, Big Hunk of Love, that's the only version that's on there. So, looking at the Sunset, that's where the other A Big Hunk of Love is. Track 9. So that should actually read the first version of A Big Hunk of Love, the rehearsals, and track 7 should read Sunset. So, looking through the booklet, there is 19 tracks, which is right for the rehearsals, listed, but one of them's wrong, so therefore I had to trawl through to find out which one it was. And I think I found it. It's on this one, It's Always on My Mind. This one here. Now this was originally issued, it's the same version. Originally it was issued on this album. It's the same take, This Is Elvis, but it's a bit, they've edited it, they've faded it out very early, and they've added some strings to it. So it isn't technically the same version, I suppose. They've listed it as first being issued on this one, The Great Performances, which it was. About 1990, that one, and that's the same version that you find in here, although this one runs right to the very end where Elvis says that's enough, and it's the same version that's on this one, Elvis On Tour, the rehearsals. So that's where that mistake come from. So even though it says The Great Performances, it is also the one that's on This Is Elvis, and it's also the one that's on Tour, the rehearsals. Just a small little thing, but something that I noticed. I haven't even read the booklet all the way through, to be honest. So that was something I noticed. Never mind. Anyway, the quality of the rehearsals, excellent. Excellent. Elvis, obviously, the newer songs that he's doing, For the Good Times, even Burning Love, Separate Ways, Always on My Mind, very committed performances. The older songs, Love Me, All Shook Up, etc., are done in a rehearsal type manner, really. Bit thrown away, but in very good quality. Nice to have in this quality. 10 times better than the bootlegs that I have. These early bootlegs were, if you've got this, these seem to be taken from the film rolls, so you can actually hear the producers of the film speaking over the music, saying cameras are rolling, Thomas is rolling, but he's not shooting anything. etc, etc. If you've got this, you'll know. Unfortunately though, this is a major gripe for me. If you look there, track 3, You Gave Me a Molehill, well obviously that's a version of You Gave Me a Mountain. If you're a fan that's got this, you'll know that's a funny version of You Gave Me a Mountain. Why this is not on there, I do not know. It's a great funny version of You Gave Me a Mountain, but it's not on there. I think there's a version of I Can't Stop Loving You as well, a rehearsal version there, which I don't think is on here either. So it's not complete. And why that funny track was not put on there is beyond me. If you're a fan, you've heard it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Shame. Here's the Blu-ray disc, which was included in the set. As I said on my previous video, I do not own a Blu-ray player yet, so I won't be able to play this. But looking at the booklet, you can see it's obviously the latter edition of Elvis On Tour. I've got it on the DVD, which doesn't feature Johnny B. Goode at the beginning. So again, if you've seen Elvis On Tour as many times as I have, as it's the opening of the film, it is a bit disappointing. It does change the film somewhat not to have Johnny B. Goode on the intro, but I'm sure it does look fine when I do get round to getting a DVD player. I was actually speaking to someone and they said it is exactly the same as their Blu-ray, which this is a DVD, but their Blu-ray features this picture of Elvis on the disc, but my Blu-ray looks like that. So I don't know if anyone can give me any more information on that. Does your disc look like that? That's the back side. So can't really comment on this one until I get a DVD player, but I'm sure it looks fine. The DVD looked fine at the time, so yeah, I'm sure that'd be good. So an overview. Well, there's 145 tracks on this set. 55 have been issued before, so that leaves officially, so that leaves 90 tracks officially unissued until now. So I think it's well worth the money, I must be honest. I can't say any more than just get it. Have a little bit of a fume, so if you're easily offended, maybe you better turn off now. But last year in June, a certain film come out featuring a certain actor, Austin Healey, whatever his name is, and I was told by certain fans that you should go, you should support Elvis, you should see this film. If you don't go and see this film and it doesn't make a lot of money, then we won't get the Elvis On Tour material, we're never going to get it. And support the soundtrack as well. Listen to Eminem. Not for me, not at all. I can't stand Austin Montego or anyone playing Elvis. I know he did win an award recently at the beginning of the year, Austin Morris, for his portrayal in the film, but it's not my cup of tea. I haven't seen the movie. I've seen the trailers. That's enough for me. I've seen Elvis the movie. I've seen Elvis and the Beauty Queen. I've seen Elvis and Me. I've seen Elvis and the Colonel. I've seen Elvis and Nixon. I've seen Elvis and the Man from Mars That Came to Memphis. That was a good one. I don't want to see any more. I just don't like to see anyone portray Elvis at all. It's just not my cup of tea. And the reason I'm saying this about the movie is some people now that are supposed Elvis fans went to see the movie once, twice, 3 times, 5 times, yet they're turning around and saying, I might pass on this. I just don't get these people. I was ridiculed actually when last year, when the premiere was in June of the Elvis movie, I was asked what would I do, and I said I'd stay at home and watch Harem Scarum for the 134th time, and I was laughed out of town. What a terrible film. I said, well, it features this bloke. This is why I'm an Elvis fan. This fella here. I'd rather watch him any day than anyone else. So I just don't get it. I just don't get fans that spend all their money on these imitators, would-be's, has-beens, actors that are portraying Elvis, yet they don't want to spend money actually on this. I don't get it, so I would highly recommend getting this. This is the real deal. This is the #1. This is Elvis. This is no one else. Get it. Don't even think twice about it. It's well worth the money. Unfortunately, it seems that we're nowhere nearer getting the Elvis On Tour film footage. There's approximately about 9 hours worth of film to be shown, but it doesn't seem that it's going to come out any time in the future. But thanks to the fans that supported the Elvis movie, yes, we've got another Elvis movie coming up next year. Another load of dross, another rehash. Remember, the Elvis film was just a rehash of Elvis and the Colonel, some film that was made about 1987. And in my opinion, Beau Bridges, I think, played the Colonel and played a 10 times better part than Tom Hanks ever could. But now apparently we're going to get Priscilla's book, Elvis and Me, which has already been made into a film years ago. So we've got that coming up. So, going back to this box set. If you're an Elvis fan, I'd say get it. If you're not, I'd say wait for the Elvis and Me movie next year. Elvis On Tour, the box set. Till the next time, just remember, while there's music, life's no waste.